Came over to our house on the east side in Pontiac, Michigan, and we was just like chilling. It was me, him, my other little brother, and we was just chilling. And like he was just freestyling. He was just fucking with it. You know what I mean? He was just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, damn, this cat, you know what I mean? He's really like making this shit up because he was saying shit that was like now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like he was like putting shit in his rhymes that like maybe he would rhyme about the shirt I was wearing or some shit like that. And then so I tried it. You know what I mean? That was way before I got to the studio and all that kind of shit. So I tried it. And also, you know what I'm saying? I never told you this, but I won a creative writing contest when I was like in the third and fourth grade. So I was a two-time creative writing champion when I was
No
like,
shit.
yeah, when I was in the fourth and fifth grade. And like my mother, I
Hold
could
on.
hear her.
I do have to cut you off. Sorry, just because I heard the dingly noise and then I realized, yo, Forever Preach, the homeboy from Montreal, is hosting this, so you're getting even more love like that. Connect 33 goes, I'm all in cuz I love it. So I'm just saying, you're getting some comments now. I'm just saying that to encourage you, to let you know people care. Because I want to hear more about your writing competition, dog. That is a fascinating thing. Tell us a bit about that.
I appreciate it. I won. It was a writing contest, and every grade in Pontiac, Michigan, in the public schools, they used to have every year. Each grade had a creative writing contest, and
Okay.
I actually won it. I won it fourth and fifth grade year. I won it, and this is like out of like I mean, like at least 500 people submitted, you know what I mean, writing situations. And so I won it. And I think that kind of hearing my mother, I remember hearing my mother on the phone bragging to her friends about her oldest boy, Corey, winning this creative writing contest back to back 2 years straight. And so I think hearing her sound enthusiastic about that, I think it kind of motivated me. You know what I mean?
Yo, thank you for sharing that, man. I think people need to hear more because I've had similar experiences with writing and my mother being mad excited. There's this thing in Montreal, where, at least in my school board, called For All Seasons. They would collect poetries and crap from people. I got published twice in that shit. And my mom geeked out. And honestly, look at us. We're now MCs all this time later. So maybe
That's
having your mom geek out over your writing when you're a kid is a big part of encouraging us. I never even thought about that one time before. So I really appreciate you sharing that story.
Yeah, that was fourth. That was fourth and fifth grade, and here I am today, 46, going on 47. Sometimes I think like, man, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm still at this shit. But in the same token, I look at it like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm in my prime, to be quite honest, you know what I mean? Because right now I got experiences to actually write about, you know what I mean, in terms of my lyrics and my content and stuff like that, you know. So I think that's what people are going to be surprised about with the Serenity LP that I'm working on with Supreme Wilder and Fourth Disciple. I think people really, really, really gonna be enlightened. I Self Divine from Rhyme Sayers, he's always been encouraging me to be honest with my writing and be vulnerable, and that people will actually appreciate that vulnerability in terms of me being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just on that note, there were two lines that really like I fucking had to write them down because you were it just felt like you were like sharing maybe more motivational stuff. It was from your track Legacy. I think it was Legacy. That was my favorite thing I heard today. He starts it off and from the beginning he's like, "Yo, I'm just going to share some knowledge and wisdom with y'all." Yo, shout out D Shade, Montreal legend, for hitting that follow. Holy shit, that is like the most humbling shit ever to happen. Oh my gosh, this is a big moment. That's all I'm trying to say. Wow. Um, But basically, man, it caught me completely off guard. But you have the right to remain silent, so do not confess. Holy shit, I heard that, and I'm like, there's layers to that, right? Because it's good advice for people, especially if you look at something like that Netflix series of the five kids in New York, the Central Park Five, and how they fucked over those folk like that, right? That line resonated. On top of that, it's like the snitching business, the people snitching themselves out all over their lyrics and stuff. Or I'm just gonna have to go local Montreal. You don't want to violate social isolation rules? Don't do it on your fucking stories. It's just a bad look. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that line and it really hit me. Like it connected with something I wrote on Facebook this morning level that hit me. And then the other lyric in that, just to give y'all a sense of where he's at with what he's saying here. Fall for everything if you don't stand for something. And I love that, right? Because there's a twist on the comment idea there, you know, if you just whatever that quote is. But the way you worded it, it's like if you don't have principles, you're going to be a gullible sucker. And I work in technology. And I know all about copywriting and manipulative language. And that really resonated too, because on top of whatever other connections you have in your world, you're able to just draw so much experience from it. So I just wanted to validate what he's saying to y'all, because he's not talking shit. His bars actually have that level of substance going on inside of them.
You're talking about the legacy record from my Sedition LP.
Yep, I couldn't remember what LP. It said 2020. It said Legacy or 2019. Either way, it was Legacy on Spotify.
I released it kind of choppy. I didn't release that Sedition LP like most people are used to LPs being released. They're used to just being a batch of songs just dumped in their laps. And so I didn't really do it like that this time. You know what I mean? I released it basically. I think it took probably like about 3 years for me to release that record. And I approached that LP as if I wanted all of the records to actually be kind of like singles, you know what I mean? If you remember back in the day, people used to release an album and then they would have like a lead single and then they would have a follow-up and blah, 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 blah. But me, I personally wanted to approach it with the perspective that every single record could possibly be a single. And that legacy record is very, very important to me. It's the most important record that I've ever written, because it's actually, I hope that it's the blueprint for my descendants. I hope that my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, actually even just talking about it, it brings me to a place emotionally that's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Usually I reserve that time for privacy and stuff like that, but it's really, really a sincere album. I mean, a sincere record. And it means everything to me. It means everything to me. I kind of was scared to release it because I know that my fan base, they kind of have come to expect really, really rebellious records from me and seditious records from me. And for me, that fit because if you listen to the record Legacy, I'm actually literally warning my son that, yo, shit is real out here. You gotta have some guns, unfortunately, and you gotta have a certain mindset to be able to take care of you, your family, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. It's a different perspective. I think people need to listen to it, and I hope that they appreciate it.